5th of August 2023. This is another one of that Let's Talk skidmarks of mine. And this one is also connected to that letter that I wrote to Mr. Putin. In that letter, in the comments sections, I got a lot of comments about the fact that I did not mention details of the Anglo-Boer War. Now let me get that into perspective for you. I wrote that letter to Mr. Putin as an Afrikaner Boer. I did it for my tribe. It was my tribe that I represented in that letter. I am an Afrikaner Boer. So, get that clear. And then I get accusations that I didn't give the history of the Anglo-Boer War. Well, Mr. Putin is a busy man. He cannot listen to 7.5 hours of shit from an Afrikaner sitting here in South Africa. He knows the history. Well, let me say it like this. He knows the important parts of the history. So, there was no need for me to give him a history lesson. And by the way, there's a hell of a lot of historians much better qualified than me to document that, and they have documented it. So that's the reason I only gave a reference, one sentence reference to the Anglo-Boer War. And then there was a person that tackled me about the fact that I basically excluded the English-speaking whites in my letter. And she said she was married to an Englishman and they lived in Rhodesia and they left for South Africa. Now let me just remind her. First of all, it was that English ancestors that killed my ancestors. So forgive me if I don't have a lot of love for them. Those ancestors of hers killed my ancestors. And here comes the kicker. Her fucking ancestors' offspring fucked up Rhodesia. And then that same cretins played a major role in fucking up South Africa. So you must forgive me if I don't have a lot of love left for them. And then there was English-speaking guys that complained and brought it under my attention that they fought in the Bush War. I never denied that. I never denied that. But I'm saying it again. I wrote that letter to Mr. Putin and I spoke on behalf of my tribe, the Afrikaner Boere. Why did I do it for my tribe? Because it is my tribe that has been threatened by that fucking Malema with his kill the Boer, kill the farmer. So, if you are an Englishman or an English-speaking Afrikaner, get your representatives for your tribe to state your case. I stated the case for the white Afrikaner Boere, and that is what I did. And I did it to the best of my ability. And there were some people that made comments about the fact that my letter lacked references to God. Listen, I'm not a preacher. I'm a guy that sees the shit is going to hit the fan. If you want to preach, do it. Go and do it. Don't come in my comments and tell me I must do it. Do it yourself. And I see in the comments many people commenting, and I get WhatsApp messages about it, and so commenting that I must not forget there are black people in South Africa that do not agree with Malema. Now I've got a message for them. Stand up and say it in public. Don't send it to me in a fucking message. Say it in public. Because by keeping silent about it, you are actually, by definition, supporting him. I am not blind. I've got many messages from blacks that are highly upset about what Malema did. But the reality of the world is this. What Malema did is brought to the attention of the world what they, the black majority's representatives in government, is planning for us, the white Afrikaners. So, if you don't agree with what he said, say it. I cannot run a channel trying to please everybody. It's fucking impossible. And then there's those that come and they say, why am I wasting my time writing a letter to Putin? I must pray. Okay, I've got no problem with that. I can understand that. But I have got a message for you that tell me that. Go and read your Bible and you will see how many times God used men to do the right thing for his people. Think about that. Before you come and you tell me, I must do fuck all and I must just put all my trust in God. My trust is in God. But the God that I believe in expects me to do my part. Lift my fucking ass off the chair and do something. I cannot sit in a corner and do nothing and expect God to do the things. He gave me a brain to see what is wrong and talk about it and do what I can do. But to do what I am doing takes bloody well guts. You have got no idea of the hate mail and the attacks that I get. No idea. But I've got news for those haters. Fuck you. If you have a specific topic that you want to get under the attention of the people, do it. Don't tell me I'm missing the thing. I have left this out and I left that out and I left that out and what the hell? Do it yourself. That is the problem with society. You are fast to criticize, but you yourself do nothing. We had that spectacular balls up in front of the EFF offices. And I did that skid mark on it. And I have contacts with really knowledgeable, experienced guys. And I spoke to them. And the one guy said to me, okay, we will join their WhatsApp groups and provide them with some guidance if they want it. And let me tell you now today, they rejected everything that these, let's call them, utopies offered. Every piece of advice was rejected. And I'm telling you today that in principle, and now you need to think very carefully about what I'm saying, and don't get yourself into a knot because you don't understand what I'm saying. You need to think about this objectively. What the bittereinders is doing is exactly what the EFF is doing. Think about that. So, it was a major fiasco. Any guy with a half a brain will tell you that balls up in front of that officers of the EFF was a balls up. And it was very dangerous. We could have very easily have seen a replay of what happened in Mabatu. So, and then that leader of theirs sends out a voice clip praising them. It was a disaster, but they propagated as if it was a major win. Fuck. If winning looks like that, I'm glad I'm losing. Fact of the matter is, in the end, I am representing my tribe to the best of my ability. And the only people that I spoke about negatively in my letter to Mr. Putin was the Anglo-Saxons. And you can write essays of 795,000 fucking pages if you want to about that. You will not change my opinion. I can go and see the graves of my ancestors, women and children that were murdered in the concentration camps. Women that has been raped to death in the concentration camps. Children that were starved to death in the concentration camps. By the fucking Anglo-Saxons. That is what they... The same Anglo-Saxons that killed 7 million Indians. Not go in with guns and kill them. No, they took the easy way out. They just took all their food and shipped it off to England. And let the Indians die from hunger. So don't come to me and expect me to have anything positive about the Anglo-Saxons. But the reality is this, we are in a, there's no other word for it, we're in a shit pond. And we cannot get out of it. And there's no leadership in South Africa that is really focused on the well-being of the people. So, if I didn't mention your particular group in my letter, go and do your own letter from your group's point of view. Do not tell me what I have left out. Go and do your letter. That is how you do it. I've showed you, it's not difficult. But the fact of the matter is, we cannot sit and hope something will change. Someone will come and help us. The dilemmas of this world, of this country, has made it clear they want to kill all the whites. Now, my tribe is part of that whites. And I am fighting for my tribe. Go and fight for your own tribe. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. And thank you for your support.